Good morning to everyone. It is IWJ Warrior Junior, fun-filled educational episode uh, of great, and it should be all about you in life. It should just be about you. Oh, shit, sorry about that. Wasn't sure if you could hear me there for a second, but what I said is, this thing is all about you. You know, about yourself in life. And now, that just takes me right into the topic before I start talking about college. I was training in the park tonight, and Sunday night, for whatever reason, is the gay, West Hollywood. Not like the weekend isn't, but Sunday is like always a gay do. And, whatever. I mean, it doesn't bother me. It's just whatever. It was just these three women. I said I was going to look at anybody, but I just couldn't believe this. They played around on the rings and in my, where I was working out for a little while. They're actually in pretty good shape, surprisingly. Um, but I ignored them. I just didn't want to give them any attention. And, you know, it is a double-edged sword because, I've seen both sides of the equation where, ignore them. They're wondering why, who is that guy, and then give them attention. You talk with them. But I watched this guy with this dog talk with them for a bit, and then he just went off another way. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I didn't like one of them. She left her water empty, crumpled, recycled, plastic. Couldn't throw it in the fucking trash. I hate that. It's shows you probably what kind of person she is. Young, you understand? People that are fucking half my age, if that. Whatever. I mean, I look at it. Look at it like this. I know I've done this before, but I'm going to illustrate a point. Here's my point. Okay, that's what I look like, right? I didn't get to look like this from chasing women around. Okay, I did it through my own mind, my own perseverance, my own hard work. Okay, my point is like you put your mind where your energy is, or your energy where your mind is. You're gonna run around. You're gonna chase fucking women. You're gonna run after these people. How is that investing in your? Now, I get horny all the time too. I know. A couple days ago, I saw these women, going to Mickey's or whatever. Even going to an after hours club, they have their agenda. Not even fucking giving you a chance anyway. Just remind yourself of that. Remind yourself of that. Like, what are you investing in? What are you fucking investing in? If you're not investing in yourself, what the fuck? You understand? A woman can just leave you any fucking time. You don't control her. Look at the fucking divorce rate in Southern California. Okay? You gotta think. A lot of guys are getting taken to the fucking cleaners before, man, just, you know, go, yeah, I know, I gotta, look, it's like I gotta do what I gotta do sometimes also, but just, like, get rid of it and get back to fucking work kind of thing. Don't give them, like, it's like the same thing. They come and they go, just like when I was training. I didn't stop training when those three chicks showed up. I noticed, I was well aware of their presence. Then they went over, there's another playground that's really for kids. They left. So during that time, I was doing crunches, and everything. You really have to understand you're here for you. And it sounds so simplistic. It sounds so, I know that, I know that, I know that. Yeah, A lot of guys don't know. A lot of guys giving these women so much attention, so much time and energy. I've seen it. I said to myself in the private, what the fuck is going on in this world? What the hell? Like, you put these women all on the pedestal. I'm not saying women should be below. It should be even. But it has gone like ridiculousness where women get everything given to them. I already talked about this so many times, everything like that. And really, that word selfish, I know I talked about this too, but I just like to repeat things that are really, really important. That term selfish has been misconstrued. Oh, you're a selfish. Yeah, well, you know what? Self. You're investing in yourself. That's the most important. Before you can't even help anybody if you can't help yourself. Okay. I love giving back, man. I love giving, but I gotta have some. I gotta, me first. Then it's time to give back. Once you achieve things that you want to do, like there's a time to give yourself. And I fucking really, I talked to my friend Chris about a little today. He doesn't really get it as far as like life changing, how to change your life. He kind of makes things simplistic. He doesn't attack things, and my point of that is like we both relate with the difficulty of gambling. And I asked him like, "What'd you do the other couple of days? What you? Oh, I went to all you can eat places. I went to all you can eat places with a friend." And here he told me that he's trying to lose like 20 pounds and stuff. What are you doing? Like, what do you? How does that help you? Do you see like you're going after anything in life, and it just to me most people kind of waste time doing things that are counterproductive, not going to help you move forward, not going to create the best version of yourself. He told me that I should go there, and I told him, I said, look, man, I all you can eat places don't help me. Number one, I'm not 155 pounds, I eat that much anyway, and it's not healthy, to gorge yourself and whatever. It's just not Klieg, and in Yiddish, Klieg is smart. And he's just a guy, you can't really help people that they don't have it up there to. There's no, it's not to lead the horse to water. You can't make him drink kind of thing. But to be able to create the best version of yourself, you have to have a good template, like a good mindset, clear path of understanding. And many people just don't have that. When I was in Santa Monica, whatever, I see like homeless people just sitting around the bus. Think about this, like when you see like a homeless person, whatever, at night, they take the bus from where I live, Santa Monica to downtown, back, and then the other way, and then back, then the other way. And I guess the philosophy of that is like, well, maybe they're afraid because if they're not moving around, somebody could hurt them if they're sleeping on the streets. Um, they have nowhere to go. It's warmer maybe in the bus. I don't know, but the bus is moving. I mean, I just it sounds just like people that just have no plan, like have no no way to become anything. They're going nowhere. They're going back and forth, but they're going essentially nowhere, traveling nowhere. And there's a lot of people that they have that good boost, and this will lead me into the college thing now. I'll talk about it. And they get a good hit the like like my friends have an adopted daughter. They adopted her at birth. She went to like private high school, then went to CSUN, graduated. She has like a bachelor's, I think, in marketing or something, communications, and she works for some entertainment company or whatever, and been working ever since. And it's like a good foundation, a good solid foundation. And If you have that, it makes moving ahead. It makes it, more practical, possible when you have that good foundation to go on. And I'm not saying woe is me or woe is nothing, but I didn't have that. I didn't know. I wanted to be this, I want to be that, and I was not talented enough for this. I wouldn't give up that, and I hung in there with this, and I tried to do that. It didn't work out, and everything comes with a price. I've seen this one guy around my area. Probably seen the same wherever you live. Same UPS guy been doing the same shit for like 30 years. I'm not exaggerating. Like 30 years, 30 fucking years inside doing a job. I just don't think this way. Like I think it's. I mean, I look at most people that work in the post office. They look like they're broken down, worn out, zombie like. You know, I don't know what they're going on in their mind. Old people like, why are you still there if you're old? Why? Why don't you have? Because it's not enough. There'll never be enough money. It'll never be enough. And they're like old. They should have retirement already. They should have and give somebody else a chance. And this leads me to the college thing because it warps the whole job sector. These old people like they don't have enough, never accumulate enough, or they spent don't really have anything because it doesn't pay enough anyway what they're working. So they're staying on the job bandwagon. And then all these people graduating college, there's nothing there. There's no need for the people to there's no need because all the jobs they're all filled now. Again, and I think it's just a total you know total ass fuck. I mean, I don't know how to describe this. I mean, I got a master's degree in phys ed, and here I went on the LACCD community college jobs, and it's like adjunct, and I applied for some things. Of course, never heard back, and everything. And what is it? I'm not the only one applying for these jobs. I guarantee you that. And what I did, I just don't care anymore. Like I just don't. I don't have references. I don't have connections. A degree, and I have my life experiences of doing whatever involved in my resume. I send it in, and it doesn't fucking matter. I just, what's the fucking difference if it's a doctor of education or if you're holding a master's degree and you can't get work at a community college if that's all that's required? Degrees that have no value. When I got my associate's degree, I knew it wasn't a big, I knew it wouldn't do nothing, but it was a personal accomplishment. And, bachelor's degree in liberal studies. And, wanted anyway. When I got my master's, I cannot believe that I've never had a phone call after all the applications I put in and cover letters and resumes and everything. I'm, beside myself. I don't care. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, that, I remember like when you get the degree, you get it in the mail. It's like, wow, it's cool. That it's an incredible feeling. But it's just amazing. It just sits in a nice frame in my living room and has not led to any great careers. And I don't know why. Like I wouldn't. It just did not equate to me. Like, am I just unlucky? I mean, whatever. I'm not gonna intern work for free. I'm fucking 50 years old. I'm not fucking out of my mind. I would, work for free. I think it's called sousing. Sousing. You work for free. It is sousing. You want to see how serious you are about it. Your fucking mind. Then when I earned my EDS, it didn't surprise me at that point. Once I saw the masters thing, um, uh, 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 you know, I look at once in a while, I go on and like, higher ed jobs or whatever here, there. What am I gonna fucking move? I'm not moving to Montana, Wisconsin, or something. I live in fucking Los Angeles. Go live out in North Dakota where 50 below zero, for nothing, or Portales, nothing there. Town, Alamogordo, whatever, Alamogordo, whatever, where they did the nuclear weapons test or whatever like that. You're fucking out of your mind. I ain't fucking going out to fuck or. Vegas, I wanted. I thought I could go UNLV. I dreamed to teach there, work in administration. I motivated, and everything. And again, all my applications, everything I fucking put in, nothing, nothing, nothing. And here now I'm like a borderline doctoral candidate. I'm supposed to get a grade today, ironically, from weeks of fucking work I put in for research and educational leadership. It's like, it's not the work, it's the fucking time, man. I entered a year and a half program to get my doctorate, and it was like only 6 classes. Of course, they're upselling you, these schools, they upsell you with everything. And it's only 6, yeah? It's taking me 36 fucking weeks, plus the whatever to finish 3 of those fucking classes. 36 fucking weeks, man. And then another 36 on top of it if I stay there. And I just, it's to get this really nice piece of paper with your name on it. It's like, wow, you know what that fucking piece of paper costs? It's just the money, but the time, man. You know? It's like these schools can't afford to pay administration, professors, whatever, for hire. Then they should be out of business. They shouldn't even be around. I really don't want to think about the effort put forth, and not getting anything in return. And it's a real thing for me. I sense that the system is designed to fail. It's designed to fail. You're putting a lot of time into something for essentially nothing. Now, it's not nothing. I want you to understand that, because nothing is nothing. I am very, very surprised that here you got these degrees and they just don't hold enough water. And I know, well, you got a million opening for a million jobs and 1.9 million graduates. So what does that tell you? Exactly. There's not enough to fill the thing. Now, business for yourself, okay, if you can turn a profit. And I haven't been to everybody else that's drop shipping. And what are you fucking making? So I try to up value of the products. And when you start doing that, you're gonna, and for example, I already shared the story, but I'll bear worth repeating. I sold like a $900 MacBook or whatever, and paid for this. The customer pays for it with a credit card. So then I get a message from them and they're going, after it was delivered, and then they got credit card. Sure, you did. It was delivered. Somebody stole my credit card. Yeah, and then opened up a case on that. I wound up getting refunded, but it was a nightmare. Like it was, I was so irate about this, because the thing was delivered to the address, the credit card. So somebody pulled shenanigans on me, and this is what happens when you drop ship stuff. You're making you're competing with everybody's prices, and it's very difficult. Why would they buy it if they can save $100 there? They don't. It's all about where you can get the best deal and save the most money. So, I wound up selling. I didn't care what I was selling. If it was water purification tablets or fucking stump remover, fucking fluid for a drill or whatever it was. They're not only making a couple sales every week. And so I thought, well, it's Amazon, so I'm getting the points on my card for making the buys, and then I'm sending it out. But what happens? Amazon can buy the thing off of you, then Amazon jacks up the price, and all of a sudden you're losing money. So it's like you're getting fucked.
But you're doing a good thing. You're helping people.
You're helping people. Yeah. Again, you got to help yourself first. You can help anybody else. Everything I've ever done. I mean, I think about when I was 25 years old. Could have went in the Air Force. I took the ASVAB, got a good score, but remember me. He was a below tech staff sergeant. And he was like, you're going to be on the lowest rung of the, because there's more officers in the Air Force than any other branch. You're going to come in as I wish, an O2, an E2. It's a fucking private first class, airman first class, whatever, low, and I was like, he's right. I mean, now at the time, I think it was 6 weeks in Lackland or 8 weeks in Lackland, it's already, but it's still, Air Force training. It's not real boot camp. I mean, you're on a Air Force base, and a couple of weeks they teach you survival, but it's really Air Force. It's using your mind. You're not a soldier. You're an airman. And I just thought about it. It didn't take me much time. I really thought about it, and I go, they're gonna want 4 years out of my life, and I was a dancer. Like that was my passion, and I just wouldn't I wouldn't do it. Like I didn't. I stayed with my passion. I chose my passion over that. And I remember people that went in at my age or whatever, but people have told me that when they were young, they went in, they couldn't wait to get out. So I remember meeting Army guys at the Commerce Casino that said, I can't wait to get out. So this guy was a captain. He was an O3. I took it as and by the time I got my bachelor degree, I think I've mentioned this story before. I found like a loophole in the National Guard where it was like you could become an officer, and then enter into a college first program. So basically, even before basic training, you sign the agreement. You go, okay, I'm going to go in. To do is, I'm going to finish college or get 90 credits. It was three. It was a senior standing bachelor degree. At least because most of them is 120. So senior status, and then um, basic training because National Guard falls under the Department of the Army, and I mean there's the Air Guard too under it falls under the National Guard is Army technically Army National Guard. So they would send you to their OCS Officer Candidate School, sergeant, staff sergeant or sergeant, I think, importantly, whatever. I remember it was E5. I mean, people instruct you. They know when you. So so they said, yeah. When you finish your basic, you college first. You go back, get your college degree, and then so you got your commission, you got your degree, and then you can move forward. Whatever. So it's college first. Fine. I'll do it. I'll do it. Happening was an order came down from like the Department of the Army where they lowered the enlistment age from like 42 to 35 that month. I remember I was in the middle of it. I was really dead serious. I go, I like the idea. The day I show up, it's not grunt work. It's leadership skills. I mean, I know it's hard and everything, but I have a brain. Like I know how to fucking, I can. And once they told me, they said, no, no, this comes from the top. Like so, it was over. It was over at that point. Like, I said, isn't there any waivers? I mean, I was really upset. I couldn't believe, I said to myself, here I life that way. I could work my way up and whatever. And no, there was nothing. And I just like left. And I said, well, if anything changes, we can contact you. And it never did. It never did. I guess there were too many people. They got a lot of people signing up to go in the Army Reserve, National Guard, all it would they didn't need. So they lowered the enlistment age from 40. I remember I was like 40 years old at the time, 42 to 30. They lowered it from 42 to 35. Surgery when I was 41. Um, it took me quite a while because of I really had a difficult time going to Cal States and not finding anything I was interested in. Now they do have like a interdisciplinary studies where you have to get okay from certain. There is that, but again, at the time when I was going to universities, mind wasn't there. I didn't care. I was there to get a refund money so I can go gambling. I cared more about being a professional poker player, but in a sense, I was just a compulsive gambler fooling myself. Imagine times I get up, go to the casino like at the 3, then like walk to like the train station, take the fucking train all the way to Northridge, 5 grand in my pocket cash, go to school, and then go home. And it was ridiculous. It was absolutely retarded that that this is the life of a compulsive gambler. Like this is ridiculous. Um, Retarded. Um, and then what happened was, I tried applying for other schools, Cal State, Field or whatever, I forget. And then they Long Beach looked at it, they go, hey, you're getting kicked out of all these other schools. What gives? And I go, well, I had a problem. Well, I'm sorry, we cannot give you financial aid based on, you getting kicked out from our sister schools here. So basically, they gave me two chances. Pull it up on the computer. They know the financial aid department makes a decision. Like money comes from the Department of Education, pay the school, and then you get the refund. But the school, their their thing, they have a SAP, which is satisfactory academic progress. They see working toward your degree. If I would have been passing my classes, I would have been fine, but I wasn't. I failed out of Dominguez Hills and basically failed out of Northridge because I didn't care. Like there was nothing. I made some catastrophic mistakes. You need to take 12. I was so desperate to take 12 units credits to be full time so I can get the most money possible that I wound up taking a college algebra course to make 12 units, and that was the biggest mistake in every class. Um, Even though I was about 3 weeks late before I added it, and I wound up failing it. It was just over. I just didn't know back then. I was computer illiterate back, pretty much still at that point. It wasn't until I went to National University when I was like 30, 39 that I became computer literate fairly quickly. I learned how to upload assignments and upload discussion post forms and do PowerPoint presentation and Zoom thing. Like it all came little by little. Upload Word documents. It eventually got it. Little. When I got my bachelor's through National, I was really happy when you look at that bachelor degree. And I think I talked about this before. Like the first class that I took at National, I got a D in, and I was like irate. I mean, with the professor, I was on probation, and I go, "Here's the story, all over again." Probation at National University. I mean, I was irate, but and I remember venting toward the professor, and professor was like at wit's end too, but I hung in there. What I didn't realize is in that 1 month that I learned every like how to go to class, I got an A, and I was off of probation. I knew how to do the at one class a month, and even though I got C's, that's all I needed was 2.0. For some reason I had a very hard time taking music, history of music. I don't know why they made those classes so hard, but um, I wound up graduating. I got my bachelor's. I was over 2.0, and I could have stayed there, but I said no, no. Let me look around, and sure enough, found a online master's in sports administration. So it's again, this took fucking time. Didn't get that till I was 44, So, but I took my time with it. I took my time. I wasn't in a rush to get it. Now, toward the end, I was able to transfer in some classes I took schools. I think it was University of North Carolina, Central. They're good schools online. They let me take one class provisionally, which I transferred masters, and I was able. I mean, I paid out of pocket. I was dead seriously. I wound up, I think, taking just one class at University of Central Missouri for my master's, and then for my EDS degree, one class at the Fort Hays from Liberty University. I got my ED. A lot of work, transitions, trying to knock out this doctor degree, and it's still all the work I did all counts. So right now, as of today, I'm supposed to get a grade today. Educational, was it educational research and educational leadership, which I know I passed. Um, that would be 3 classes out of the 6 that I need for the doctor degree, and it would be no more classmates, just me and the professor. Dissertation thing, and you know, I can get it. But you see, again, the problem herein lies. What I've said this before, I said this again. The amount of time, effort, and energy for getting this degree and not being able to get compensated for it. It's like I see these jobs. Some of them, okay, doctor of education. I'm needing hiring, but you know, they want previous work experience, references, and I'm like, well, I don't, again, I'm not going to work for free, and I don't have any connections. So, and some of them say, well, the appointment thing. Working on his PhD from UCLA, but he was teaching undergrad geography. I remember one of the only classes that I actually passed when I went to CSUN. So, and they let him fucking teach. So, I mean, I know maybe he was close to it. I don't know. I really thought that degree has a lot of power. Every degree that I've earned going up seems not to hold any water. Doesn't matter. I knew it. Associates in liberal arts, okay. A bachelor's in general studies, okay. The master's in phys ed. It's supposed to be sports administration. It says phys ed on my fucking degree. I don't know why. That really bothered me the most. The EDS degree in higher education admin this much because I said them all. Degree. It's in between master's and doctor. So counts as a terminal degree. It doesn't. All these people that have these degrees are already working. It probably helps them as far as a pay bump. It's a status, whatever. But you know, I took the EDS degree because I looked at all the doctor programs when I first started, and they were just so long. So I figured, a master's degree for me was 30 credits, so the EDS was 30. So, let's get that. I mean, it was doable, and I did it. I like when you can lay everything out in front of me. This is what you got to do. This is how long it's going to take. This is what you got to pass. And this is what you're going to get. And I liked that, and I persevered. I did it through everything. And this last thing, the doctor degree, it bothers me the most because usually the most difficult EDD degree is called a PhD light, and I understand why and everything, but I just am not going. I just do not getting it. Yeah, I mean, I saw this one school, ACE, American College of Education. Well, if you've got either you've got ABD status or EDS, that fucking much, and there's no financial aid through ACE. So I mean, I was like, wow, I mean, and it's funny with this North Central University. I remember talking with some guy there, which they're owned by NASA, works in the missions department. His name, and he put ABD, like it's a title. EDS is a title. I'm an educational specialist. This guy kind of scoffed at it. It was like, your EDS is like nothing compared to my ABD, and I didn't want to get into him because like he works like as like I guess the admissions thing, and I think an EDS degree is a big thing. I mean, Jerry Falwell Jr. who got into so much he had is this big. I'm not exaggerating when I'm going to show you with my hands in the frame. It's this fucking big. Okay, the big fucking deal I earned that thing. The actual degree itself is big. Like, see where my cup starts? It's like big fucking deal, degree of specialist. It's not a fucking certificate. I mean, it's a big fucking deal. And this guy at North Central University, he scoffed at it. He's like, well, I'm ABD, man. No, and I go, well, you're ABD. Finish it. You didn't defend it right. Usually, not the defense is like the easiest thing because it's already there. You just have to stand up for what you've written. I mean, that's a just there's really nothing there. If you've written something good, if you first you written defense is like just if they ask you any questions, you're just defending what you've written orally. It's like nothing. Um, but there are people that have flopped on that, which really is ridiculous. I mean, I can't even. It's nonsense, like if you get to that point. Um, but again, so that really bothered me because like they compared. Well, it's just, through ACE, it's the same from their completion program. Then through this school, it's not the same, and you know. I was a year and a half ago. I'm not going to repeat the whole fucking story. It's not worth repeating, but I have to say, one credit away. It sounds like absolutely nothing, but here's the problem. The problem is that one credit involved a comprehensive exam, and that comprehensive exam was composed of 3 questions, and the comprehensive exam would be decompartmentalized by 3 people. Like I know I said I wouldn't talk about this, but it just brings back so many bad memories, right? Well, there's this one thing like my writing. Now, they pages or 30 pages answering each question. As long as you remember, like the first question, the really took, made sure I fucking made sure it was like 20 pages, whatever. No, actually, the whole document was like 30 pages. And, the first question was like, you know, maybe I don't remember. It's all I knew is I really overextended answering the first question. The second question was like, and the third question, not too much. And I wound up passing the first question. The second and third question didn't pass. So there's 3 attempts you would get. The second attempt would let you retake the questions that you didn't pass. So that would give me a shot at the second and third questions. again. So I put in a little more information, not much more, but again, I failed it twice. The third attempt would be three brand new questions. And at that point, after I failed it twice, I didn't give a shit at that point. Of education wasn't amongst the three that were on my committee. He goes, nobody's ever failed it three in a row. 200 some people. Well, I was the dismissed from the program. Can you believe that? After going, do you have any idea? At that time, I had, I'm trying to think, I had, and that comprised, and let's make sure and clarify this, because I show you my transcripts. It's all doctoral level work that I earned to earn my specialist degree, Liberty, and then all the work that Franklin, all the fucking work leading to the comprehensive exam. 6 months of applied statistics. I mean, I fucking put in a shitload of time, effort, and energy. I mean, and here I was dismissed. I was let go. And I just like it was like traumatizing for me. I couldn't believe. Now, there was this one guy that went to, we were classmates. First story when he went to university. And he said basically almost the same thing kind of happened with him. But he got to the dissertation phase, and whoever was in control of it didn't like it. They didn't pass him. And he fucking, he went all the way and said, I was going to get a lawyer, sue the school. I went to the top provost, and he wound up getting dismissed from the Pacific. And that's how he wound up at Frank University. So, we were in a class. I think we were in statistics together. It's before I made it to, after I finally complete all the work to get to the comprehensive exam. But, I feel his pain, like, what that guy went through. I don't know if he ever got his doctorate, but the thing is, it can be quite a bitch, because of these roadblocks, the professors and whatever, and don't like your writing, don't like this. I have a friend in history. He's a history buff. He's a history, and I don't know why he didn't stay there to get his master's. And he made it all the way to the end of his master's, and they wouldn't give it to him. They didn't like his thesis. The people running the history department, it's fun as my concentration was in arts and sciences and history. So, but I was an undergrad. So I don't know, maybe he had the same professors, but he was in a master's program, and he never got his master's. He never fucking got it. And he was okay with it. I told him about a program at Arizona State University in World War II studies. I think it'd be right up his alley, but, he's close to my age. A lot of health problems now, but, I think he would have been a good professor. I think that, he asked me a couple times to proofread his thesis, and I thought it's not a big deal. What does he need? It's just a couple of grammatical errors. I mean, there's software for that, Grammarly, whatever, but he really needed that, and I wish I would have helped him with it, because, he's helped me out in my life, and I didn't understand the impact. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but we're talking like 15 years ago, 10 to 15 years ago. Work things out, and you're like, no, I don't care no more. And all right, well, I don't blame you. I don't blame you, because that piece of. I mean, I remember when I went to. I talked about this, I think, on last episode. I went to the dance in Irvine, and across street at the Marriott, there's EDD, it was University immersion seminar a week. They had the whole fucking ground full of ballroom, everything, and I remember seeing the cap and gown on display, like this graduation. You didn't get anything from this episode. I want this same thing of understanding. Graduation, the whole ceremony is one day couple hours, if that, right? You know, your time on the stage is, unless you're being honored with an award, it's a couple seconds. I mean, really, I mean, I think I watched Beach, and it was done so poorly. The doctor, I mean, again, I told you this. They had the candidates, you know, the doctor graduates. They were going like warp speed, you know, like they put the little hood on, boom, gone, you know, like, and you would think one at a time, one at a time. Well, by the time the person got to the location for them to be hooded, the second person was already like right there in front of them. I mean, it was really, really poorly done because there's so many people they have to read all, you know, and that's what it is. It's not. And then think about it. You got all the other, you got all the people getting their bachelor degrees, associate degrees, master. So you know, it's a real like. So then I thought about this, and I said to myself, that's what's going to happen with me. You pay for this cap and gown. You wear it. You know, like you walk across the stage for 10 seconds, and that's it. You go sit like. I mean, it's really. It's really just, you know, like in family, if you don't have friends or family to go there, what's the point really? What's the would schlep all the way from wherever they're going? They fly in for this thing is like right in my backyard, the blue line, you know, all the way to this fucking thing because I know where it is. And I just, okay, the point that I was making was all the work for this graduation ceremony doesn't matter if it doesn't lead to a career or anything. The value of personal accomplishment. All my degrees, first and foremost, earned as a personal accomplishment. None of them were earned with the intention of getting to be teaching in community college or something. A door would open. Like I don't get. And when I see adjunct, you know, and even then, I applied for adjunct work. Nobody ever called me. You know, so it's just a fucking. It's really disheartening. Now, I still say in the end, it's worth to do it. If you got no degree or to have the degree, you know, I say to have the degree, you know, but if you got other things going on, other dreams, look, Troy Aikman, you know, Dallas Cowboys, whatever but he went to UCLA with sociology, and he got drafted to go to the NFL, and he didn't finish his degree, and he played his whole career, whatever, like that, made all his money and everything. They went back and finished it. You know, he wanted it. Like now, there's a rare exception. He's like, I don't know. I think he went first round. You know, in the NFL draft. I mean, even back in 1990 or whatever, dollars up front, big, you know, like that's a big thing. The school's not going anywhere. You know, LeBron James for didn't even, and then right to the NBA. I was gonna say NFL, but right to the NBA. So you know, schools ain't going anywhere. But I have seen some students hold their ground. They go, no, there's times when it has not worked in their favor. But you know what? If that, let me tell you something, man. That just shows. Look at it like that. Look. There's people, NFL, where their career could be over and all. There's no guarantees of anything, you know. So you know, you just got to look at it from that perspective. You know, I remember asking military recruiters, I go, why do I need a fucking bachelor degree to be an officer? It says, we understand, but it shows that you're committed to education for 4 years. You know, it's just the way that we see it. Now, I remember occasions, and the Navy would send them to officer training. Then it was good enough. Now they want a bachelor degree. You know, what it is. Now again, I'm almost 50, so I just want the doctor title, and all the years of school, in education, I feel like it's earned. I mean, all the work I've done through Liberty University, the Trident University, it's 30 credits here, 24 credits there, another fucking 24 credits in there. I mean, finally to get the ABD status, everything, and the dissertation thing for me, I got, I'm a fairly good writer, you know, it'll write itself, like I already have the template for it, and you know, I'll just power it out, when I'm ready. If I do it, it's for me, school. It's just, it's more about the time. It's not about it's most people. It's about the work. Me, it's like the time. I'm sitting there going, God, 12 weeks. That's the problem with opportunity. It's not worth it. I mean, it's well, that is a main incentive. Me, I guess. Gives me an incentive to do it, but it's like, God, it's just society didn't punish the working man much, like gave more opportunities. Hey, we need people for this. Hey, we're hiring for this. Hey, like in Las Vegas, like if we're hiring, we need guys for this. You can afford your own condo. It's 150 grand. I mean, like, give me a chance to build a fucking life, man. Like when I see these homeless people out there, I know a lot of them really have severe mental illnesses and stuff, maybe, or they're chronic alcoholics or drug addicts and stuff. But where is the real, like, my friend Chris? I don't want to put him on the spot, but he went to like these and because in die, like here you can survive on your own kind of thing, and I mean that's like it's not a key to success, but it's a step up from a life going nowhere, living on the streets or whatever. I saw this one guy, he was sleeping like 4 in the morning. I went to train